Imagine a mountain so rich, it was said to bleed silver. A mountain whose bounty didn't just build an empire, but sparked the world's first true global economic crisis. This is the story of Potosi. High in the desolate, windswept Andes, in what's now Bolivia, stands Cerro Rico, rich mountain. For centuries, it was a silent, unassuming peak. Then, in 1545, everything changed. Legend says an indigenous shepherd named Diego Walpa stumbled upon it. He built a small fire, and by morning, pure silver had melted from the rocks beneath the ashes. The mountain had revealed its secret. The Spanish conquistadors, already obsessed with gold, quickly descended. They saw not just a mountain, but an inexhaustible chest of treasure, waiting to be plundered for the glory of God and crown. Potosi's deposits were unlike anything ever seen. It held so much silver, one contemporary chronicler claimed it could build a bridge of solid silver from Potosi to Spain. Hyperbole, yes, but the scale was immense. Within decades, a city exploded at the mountain's base. Potosi became one of the largest cities in the world, a bustling, chaotic metropolis higher than any European capital, thriving on silver and desperation. But this wealth came at an unimaginable human cost. The Spanish introduced the Mita system, a forced labor draft that compelled indigenous men from across the Andes to work in the mines. Deep inside Cerro Rico, conditions were hellish. Miners worked in suffocating darkness, breathing mercury fumes used in refining, enduring freezing temperatures, and facing constant risk of collapse. It was a death sentence. Historians like Eduardo Galeano estimate millions perished in these mines over centuries. The mountain, they said, devoured men. It became known as the mountain that eats men. This torrent of silver didn't stay in Potosi. It was minted into coins, loaded onto ships, and sailed across the Atlantic, first to Seville, then dispersed across the Spanish Empire and beyond. For Spain, Potosi's silver funded its wars, adorned its churches, and filled its royal coffers. It was the bedrock of their golden age, making them the most powerful empire on earth. But here's the paradox. This immense wealth actually crippled Spain long term. Instead of investing in domestic industries, Spain simply bought everything from abroad, leading to economic stagnation. Spain, despite its silver, was constantly in debt. The silver often passed straight through Seville to pay foreign bankers for previous loans and military campaigns. It was a conduit, not a store of wealth. As Potosi's silver flooded Europe, something unprecedented happened. Prices soared. This wasn't local inflation. It was a continent-wide phenomenon known as the price revolution. Think of it this way: more money chasing the same amount of goods. Suddenly, a loaf of bread cost more. A farmer's labor was worth less in real terms. Everyone's purchasing power eroded. This hit different social classes unevenly. Landowners, who collected fixed rents, suffered. Merchants and entrepreneurs, who could adjust prices, often thrived. It reshuffled the economic deck. But the story doesn't end in Europe. A significant portion of Potosi's silver flowed further east, becoming the engine of the world's first truly globalized economy. Ming Dynasty China, at the time, had a massive demand for silver. They adopted a silver-based tax system, making it the preferred currency for trade and tribute. This created a direct pipeline. Spanish galleons, laden with Potosi silver, sailed from Acapulco to Manila, where they met Chinese junks eager to trade silk, porcelain, and spices for silver. So, Silver mined by indigenous forced labor in Bolivia paid for Spanish wars in Europe, then sailed across the Pacific to buy luxury goods from China. It was an astonishing, brutal circuit. It's a common misconception that Potosi's silver was the only cause of the price revolution. While crucial, other factors like population growth and changing land use also played significant roles. Early 20th century economic historian Earl J. Hamilton, in his seminal work, American Treasure and the Price Revolution in Spain, 1501 to 1650, meticulously documented this link, using Spanish treasury records. His research, based on detailed records from the Archivo General de Indias in Seville, showed a clear correlation between the influx of American silver and rising prices across the Spanish realm. What we don't know precisely is the exact demographic impact. While millions died, pinning down precise numbers for indigenous populations before and after the conquest remains a challenge for historians. Also, the exact percentage of Potosi silver that ended up in China versus Europe is still debated. Tracing every coin across continents and through multiple transactions is incredibly complex. For nearly 2 centuries, Potosi was the beating heart of the global economy. Its silver flowed, its city boomed, and its mountain bled. But nothing lasts forever. By the 18th century, the most accessible silver veins were exhausted. The mountain still held riches, but extracting them became increasingly difficult, dangerous, and expensive. Coincidentally, Spain's own imperial power began to wane. The vast empire, once fueled by Potosi, found itself struggling to maintain its global reach, facing challenges from rival European powers. The city of Potosi, once a beacon of wealth, slowly faded into a shadow of its former glory. Its population dwindled, its grand buildings crumbled, and silence began to reclaim its bustling streets. Today, Cerro Rico still stands, scarred and hollowed out, a stark monument to human greed and suffering. Miners still work its veins, though on a much smaller scale, still seeking its elusive treasures. The environmental scars are deep. The landscape around Potosi is poisoned with heavy metals from centuries of mining and processing, a grim reminder of the price of progress. And the human legacy endures. The descendants of the Mita laborers still live in the region, carrying the weight of a history where their ancestors were sacrificed for foreign wealth. Potosi isn't just a historical footnote. It's a foundational story in understanding how global capitalism began, how resource extraction can shape nations, and how wealth can be a double-edged sword. It connected continents in an unprecedented way, creating trade routes and economic dependencies that laid the groundwork for the interconnected world we inhabit today. The tale of Potosi serves as a potent warning. Unchecked pursuit of resources, disregard for human life, and a failure to invest domestically can lead to cycles of boom and bust, even for the most powerful. It shows us the enduring, transformative power of money, not just as a medium of exchange, but as a force capable of reshaping entire societies, economies, and even the natural world. And it forces us to confront the often ignored human costs behind grand historical narratives, reminding us that progress for some often comes at an immense price for others. But Potosi's impact wasn't just about silver. It also inadvertently helped shape the very concept of economic value and the way we understand inflation, setting the stage for future financial crises. The price revolution, driven by Potosi's silver, gave early economists their first real-world laboratory to study the relationship between money supply and prices, influencing economic thought for centuries. The sheer volume of Potosi silver also solidified silver's role as a global standard, affecting currencies and trade policies from Europe to Asia, until gold eventually took precedence. This story is a classic example of the resource curse, where countries rich in natural resources paradoxically experience slower economic growth and development due to over-reliance and corruption. Think about modern resource booms: oil, diamonds, rare earth minerals. Do we see echoes of Potosi in the challenges faced by nations today, struggling to translate natural wealth into sustainable prosperity? The mountain, still standing, still holds stories of immense wealth and profound suffering, a testament to humanity's capacity for both grand ambition and horrific exploitation. It's a weight of history that the people of Bolivia, and indeed the world, continue to grapple with. The silver of Potosi didn't just break the world, it forged it anew, in fire and blood. How do we reconcile the undeniable progress and global connections Potosi facilitated with the immense human and environmental destruction it caused? Even today, miners in Cerro Rico often perform rituals, offering coca leaves and alcohol to LTO, the lord of the underworld, hoping for protection and a share of the mountain's dwindling bounty. It's a haunting reminder that even after centuries, the mountain still demands its price, and the human spirit, however exploited, finds ways to seek solace and meaning in the face of overwhelming odds. Potosi reminds us that true wealth isn't just about the quantity of precious metals, but how that wealth is acquired, distributed, and ultimately, what it costs. And so, Cerro Rico stands, a silent, scarred witness to the birth of a global economy, a monument to human ambition, and a chilling testament to the silver mountain that truly broke the world. A mountain of silver, a sea of suffering, and the indelible mark on the global economy.